Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cloud Decoded. If you've clicked on this video, you are probably staring at a loading screen right now, wondering why your application is timing out, or why your database queries are taking forever. It's a frustrating situation. Your users are complaining, your alerts are firing, and you are just trying to figure out, is it the code? Is it the network? Or is it the database itself? Today, we are going to deep dive into the top 5 reasons why your AWS RDS instance is performing poorly. We aren't just going to list them, we are going to look at the metrics you need to check and, most importantly, how to fix them. By the end of this video, you'll have a troubleshooting checklist to get your database flying again. Let's get started. Before we jump into the root causes, let's quickly talk about the symptoms. Slow can mean different things. Is it a sudden spike in latency? Is the CPU stuck at 100%? Are you seeing connection timeouts in your application logs? Or maybe everything looks fine on the dashboard, but specific reports are taking 10 minutes to generate instead of 10 seconds. Identifying how it's slow is the first step. Usually, bottlenecks fall into 4 categories: CPU, memory, disk I/O, or locking. Let's tackle the verified. Reason number 1, and this is exceedingly common in development and staging environments or small production workloads, you are running out of CPU credits. If you are using T2, T3 or T4G instances, these are burstable performance instances. They have a baseline performance level. When your database isn't doing much, you earn credits. When traffic spikes, you spend those credits to burst above the baseline. Here's the trap: once you deplete your credit balance, Amazon throttles your CPU down to the baseline, which might be as low as 10% or 20% of a core. Your database effectively hits a wall. How to check? Go to CloudWatch. Look for the metric credit balance. If it's hitting 0, that's your problem. The fix: you have 2 options. 1. Enable unlimited mode, which costs extra per CPU hour. Or 2. Upgrade to a fixed performance class like the M5, R5 or R6G families, which don't deal with credits at all. 1 is narrow, GP2. IOPS throttling alert. Reason number 2, you are hitting your disk I/O limits. In the cloud, disk speed isn't infinite. It's defined by IOPS, input-output operations per second, and throughput, megabytes per second. Many older RDS setups use GP2 storage. With GP2, your IOPS are tied to your disk size. A 100 GB disk gets you 300 IOPS. That's really low. If you have a busy app, you will hit this ceiling instantly. When you do, requests queue up, latency spikes, and it feels like the server is down. How to check? Look at disk queue depth in CloudWatch. If it's consistently high, above 10 to 20, or if you see read latency and write latency spiking, your disk is the bottleneck. The fix: switch to GP3 storage. GP3 allows you to provision IOPS and throughput independently of storage size. It's often cheaper and faster. Or, if you need extreme performance, go for provisioned IOPS, IO1, IO2, but that gets expensive. Reason number 3, you are out of RAM. Databases love RAM. They want to cache your entire dataset in memory so they don't have to read from the slow disk. When your working set, the data you access frequently, doesn't fit in RAM, the database has to read from the disk constantly. Even worse, if the OS runs out of RAM, it starts swapping. This means it writes memory pages to the disk. Disk is thousands of times slower than RAM. If your RDS instance starts swapping, performance falls off a cliff. How to check? Check freeable memory. It's okay if this is low. Linux uses free RAM for caching, but look at swap usage. Swap usage should be 0. If it's greater than 0 and growing, you are in trouble. The fix: optimize your queries to use less memory, or simply scale up the instance class. Example, move from AT3.medium to an R5.large. The R family is memory optimized, perfect for databases. Reason number 4, the code. Specifically, bad queries and missing indexes. You can have the biggest server in the world, and a bad query can still kill it. The most common culprit is the full table scan. Imagine asking the library for a specific book, but instead of using the index cards, the librarian walks down every aisle looking at every single book. That's a full table scan. If your table has 1,000,000 rows, the database reads 1,000,000 rows just to find one. This destroys your IOPS and CPU. How to check? Enable performance insights on RDS. Sort by top SQL. Look for queries with high I/O, data read, or CPU. The fix: explain, analyze. Run this on your slow query. If you see 6 scan or full table scan, add an index on the columns you are filtering by. It can turn a 10-second query into a 10-millisecond query. Reason number 5, blocking and deadlocks. Sometimes the hardware is fine, the query is fast, but it's still waiting. Why? Because another transaction is holding a lock on the row or table. If you have a long-running transaction, maybe a batch job updating thousands of records, it puts a lock on those records. Any other user trying to read or update that data has to wait until the first job finishes. To the user, it just looks like the site is frozen. How to check? Frequent spikes in database connections combined with low CPU might indicate waiting. In Performance Insights, look for the wait event sync mutex or record_lock. The fix: keep transactions short. Commit often. Don't open a transaction and then wait for a network call or user input. So, how do you catch these issues before they take you down? You need to use AWS Performance Insights. If you haven't enabled this, go do it now. It's free, for 7 days retention, and it gives you a visual breakdown of what is eating your database load. Is it CPU? Is it I/O? Is it locking? And it tells you exactly which SQL query is responsible. It is the single best tool for RDS troubleshooting. The second tool is enhanced monitoring. Standard CloudWatch gives you metrics every 1 minute or 5 minutes. That's an eternity in database performance. Enhanced monitoring gives you OS-level process details down to 1 second granularity. You can see exactly which process is using the CPU or memory. To recap, if your RDS is slow, check these 5 things first. 1. CPU credits. Are you out of burst credits? 2. Disk I/O. Are you throttling on IOPS or throughput? Switch to GP3. 3. Memory. Is the server swapping to disk? 4. Queries. Are you doing full table scans? Add indexes. 5. Locks. Are long transactions blocking other users? If you find yourself constantly battling these limits, it might be time to look at architecture changes. Amazon Aurora delivers up to 5x the performance of standard MySQL or Postgres. Or, for unpredictable workloads, look at Aurora Serverless, which scales up and down automatically based on demand, so you don't have to guess how much CPU or RAM you need. Optimizing databases is an art, but getting the basics right solves 90% of the problems. I hope this helps you debug your next production fire. If you found this video useful, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more practical DevOps and cloud engineering tutorials. Let me know in the comments, what's the worst database issue you've ever faced? I'd love to hear your war stories. Thanks for watching, and keep building.